So my therapist just got a new smartwatch that buzzes when I'm about to make a bad decision. Problem is, the battery died 3 minutes into our session from excessive vibrations. Apparently deciding to deal with it tomorrow 57 times before breakfast isn't the pinnacle of mental health. Let's talk about procrastination. That magical art of believing future you will somehow have more time, energy, and motivation than present. Despite all historical evidence to the contrary. It's like expecting Jeff Bezos to personally deliver your Amazon package because maybe this time it'll be different. Psychologists call this temporal discounting, our brain's tendency to value immediate rewards over future benefits. It's why we'll scroll through TikTok for 3 hours instead of spending 20 minutes on that project due tomorrow. Because apparently, watching someone's grandmother learn Cardi B choreography is clearly more urgent than your quarterly report. Am I right? But wait. It gets better. The reason we procrastinate isn't actually laziness. Shocking, I know. You can tell that to your mom, who still reminds you about that science project you started the morning it was due in 8th grade. If you had just applied yourself, Timothy. Thanks for the trauma, Mom. Now I need to schedule therapy, which I'll get around to eventually. Here's the crazy part. Procrastination is actually about emotional management, not time management. We delay tasks that trigger negative emotions like anxiety, boredom, or insecurity. So when you're avoiding that gym membership you paid for, but haven't used since January 2nd, you're not avoiding exercise. You're avoiding feeling like the breathless, sweaty mess who needs to lie down after climbing 1 flight of stairs. You know what I'm talking about. It's like how I keep telling myself, I'll start eating healthy on Monday, as if Monday exists in some alternate dimension where broccoli tastes like chocolate and kale doesn't taste like punishment. If Monday were a person, it would have a restraining order against me for all the broken promises. Procrastination creates this perfect storm of self-sabotage. First, we avoid the task. Then we feel guilty about avoiding it. Then we procrastinate more to avoid feeling guilty about procrastinating. It's like Netflix making a documentary about people addicted to watching Netflix documentaries. It's procrastination inception, baby. This, my friends, is what psychologists call the anxiety-procrastination cycle. It's where you get so anxious about doing something perfectly that you put it off until the last minute, ensuring you can't possibly do it perfectly, which gives you the perfect excuse for why it wasn't perfect. It's like playing 4D chess against yourself, except both sides are losing, and the board is on fire. Let me tell you something about deadlines. Our brains are wired to underestimate how long tasks will take by about 40%. Psychologists call this planning fallacy. So when you think, I can totally write this 10-page paper tonight, your brain is basically a drunk friend at 2 a.m. saying, dude, we should totally open a bar together. Neither plan is rooted in reality. If procrastination were an Olympic sport, I'd probably train for it tomorrow. But I'd definitely take gold in the starting new Netflix series instead of finishing important projects event. And silver in convincing myself that organizing my Spotify playlists is somehow productive. You know what's wild? In one study, researchers found that people would rather receive electric shocks than wait anxiously for them later. Yet somehow we'll happily put off filing our taxes until April 14th at 11:59 p.m. Apparently, the IRS is more terrifying than actual electricity coursing through your body. And considering what they did to Wesley Snipes, maybe they're right. But here's a trick psychologists recommend called temptation bundling pairing something you need to do with something you want to do. Like only allowing yourself to watch The Bachelor while folding laundry. Or only checking Instagram while on the treadmill. It's basically bribing yourself like a toddler. If you eat your vegetables, you can have ice cream. Except you're both the parent and the toddler. Which explains a lot about adult life, if you think about it. Another technique is structured procrastination, which sounds fancy, but basically means tricking yourself by making the thing you're avoiding seem less important than other tasks. It's like creating a decoy duck for your brain to shoot at. Oh no, I absolutely cannot clean the bathroom because I must organize my spice rack alphabetically right now. And suddenly, Cleaning the bathroom seems like a vacation to the Bahamas in comparison. If social media disappeared tomorrow, productivity would skyrocket so high, Elon Musk would try to launch a Tesla to catch it. Can you imagine? Sorry, I can't procrastinate today. Instagram is down, and I've already alphabetized my bookshelf, color-coded my closet, and taught my cat to high five. Guess I'll have to actually work. The most ridiculous part about procrastination is how we lie to ourselves about it. I work better under pressure is just procrastinator, for I have made no attempts to test this theory by ever starting early. It's like saying you perform better in a burning building without ever trying to work in a non-burning building. Psychologists also talk about present bias, our tendency to favor immediate rewards over long-term benefits. It's why we'll watch just one more episode at 2 a.m., even though we know morning us will want to commit crimes against evening us. Future you is basically your personal assistant that you constantly dump work on without a raise or benefits package, and they're getting pretty tired of your crap. But wait, it gets better. If you're the type who makes elaborate to-do lists as a form of procrastination, congratulations. You've discovered productive procrastination, feeling accomplished while accomplishing nothing of actual importance. It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic while posting Instagram stories about your excellent boat trip. Here's a fun if-then scenario for you. If everyone who claimed they were almost done with their project were actually telling the truth, then the world would be absolutely drowning in completed novels, dissertations, and home renovation projects. We'd need to build storage units just to hold all the finished creative works previously known as I'm getting to it. Try what therapists call the 5-minute rule. Commit to just 5 minutes of the dreaded task. It's like dipping your toe in a pool instead of cannonballing. Often, the hardest part is starting, not continuing. It's why I tell myself, I'll just open the document and write one sentence. And before I know it, I've written an entire page of excuses about why I can't write today, but still, it's progress. You know what's truly impressive? How creative we get when procrastinating. Suddenly, you're Marie Kondo in your entire apartment, researching the complete history of spoons, or calculating exactly how many days you've been alive, all to avoid sending that one email that would take approximately 45 seconds to complete. If we applied that creativity to actual problems, we'd have flying cars and teleportation by now. If procrastinators had a dating app, every profile would read, "Looking for someone who will accept me for who I am, but also please remind me about important deadlines and maybe occasionally check if I've filed my taxes or renewed my driver's license." Swipe right for codependency dressed as romance. Another callback to our planning fallacy friends. Have you noticed how we think we'll magically have more time in the future? I don't have time now, but next week will definitely be less busy. Spoiler alert. Next week arrives, and somehow you have even less time. It's like expecting to find a parking spot at Target on December 23rd. Theoretically possible, but against all laws of nature. The true irony of procrastination is that we spend more energy avoiding tasks than it would take to just do them. It's like taking a 10-mile detour to avoid a 1-mile traffic jam. Your GPS would be like, recalculating. You seem to be making terrible life choices. Some people use the Swiss cheese method for fighting procrastination, poking small holes in big projects by doing tiny parts at a time. It's a neat idea, except most procrastinators end up just eating the actual cheese while thinking about the metaphorical cheese. And then we're back at square one, but now also feeling snacky. Remember when we were kids and thought adults had everything figured out? Meanwhile, I had cereal for dinner last night because grocery shopping has been on my to-do list for 2 weeks. And I'm currently wearing mismatched socks because laundry is something that happens to other people. If childhood me could see adult me, they'd probably start studying harder. But seriously, if you struggle with procrastination, try breaking tasks into ridiculously small steps. Don't say write essay. Say open Word document. Don't say get in shape. Say put on left running shoe. Before you know it, you've tricked yourself into productivity like you're catching a squirrel with a trail of almonds. And much like that squirrel, your attention span deserves better metaphors than I can provide right now. Quick disclaimer. I have a degree in making people laugh, not in fixing their brains. If you're taking serious psychological advice from someone whose dinner often consists of cereal eaten over the kitchen sink at midnight, please reconsider your life choices. Or at least join me for cereal sometime. So next time you find yourself waiting for the stars to align perfectly before starting that project, remember that the universe is literally expanding, stars are constantly moving, and nothing will ever be perfectly aligned. Not the stars, not your schedule, and definitely not your priorities if Netflix keeps dropping new seasons of shows at this rate. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Actually, TED rejected me, so this is more like a TODD talk, thoughts on deep and disturbing psychological stuff. See you next time.